Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling a phrase you've probably heard a million times.
Yeah. Which one?
No pain, no gain.
Yeah.
It pops up everywhere. Workouts, big decisions, life stuff.
Ah, right. That one. It definitely gets thrown around a lot when we talk about, well, getting anything done, really. Succeeding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You see it on gym walls. People say it about climbing the career ladder, even sometimes about relationships. But, let's really dig into it. Is all that struggle, that pain, actually worth it? Does it always lead to a gain?
Good question. Where's the line?
Yeah, where is the line? That's what we're exploring today. We want to get under the hood of no pain, no gain, see how it really applies, or maybe doesn't apply, in different parts of life.
Okay, so let's start there. When you first hear no pain, no gain, what's the core idea that jumps out for you, the basic principle?
For me, it's effort. Simple as that. Anything worthwhile takes hard work.
Right.
You can't just coast. You got to
Right.
push yourself, get uncomfortable. Real progress isn't supposed to feel easy.
That's definitely the common take, the effort-reward connection. It implies that struggle isn't just something to endure. It's like necessary, part of the recipe.
Yeah.
Think about learning, I don't know, a musical instrument. That initial frustration, hitting the wrong notes, it feels painful, but it's how you improve.
Totally. Or like wrestling with some new software at work.
Yeah.
It's a headache at first, but then eventually you get faster, better.
Exactly. That initial discomfort leads to competence.
But that brings up a really big point, I think. How do we know if the struggle is productive?
Yeah.
Leading to growth versus just damaging?
Ah, the million-dollar question. That's the tricky part, isn't it? Developing that sense, that discernment. Just because something's hard doesn't mean it's good for you.
Right.
We need to learn to read the signs. Is this pushing me forward or pushing me towards, a breakdown?
Okay, let's ground this. Fitness is the obvious place, right? That's where most people probably bump into the phrase.
For sure. The whole gym culture is built around it, kinda.
You challenge your muscles, push your endurance. That definitely involves some discomfort.
Absolutely. Exercise is controlled stress, essentially. That muscle burn, feeling breathless, those are physiological signals.
Signals that you're pushing limits.
Right, which prompts your body to adapt, get stronger, faster, whatever the goal is. It's a response to that effort.
But, and this is crucial, there's a huge difference between that feeling, that soreness after a good session, and like a sharp pain that screams injury.
Oh, absolutely. Massive difference.
Ignoring that kind of pain, that's where the gain disappears fast. It just sets you back.
Precisely. And there's this misconception, isn't there, that if you're not totally wrecked after every workout, you didn't do enough.
Yeah, that's definitely out there.
But pushing too hard too often, that leads straight to overtraining, burnout, injury. It actually stops progress. Listening to your body isn't weak, it's smart.
And it's not just physical and fitness, is it? What about just dragging yourself out of bed for that early morning run?
Yeah.
Or finishing that last rep when your brain is screaming, stop? That's a different flavor of pain.
It is. And what's interesting there, I think, is that overcoming that resistance, the mental battle against, laziness or self-doubt, that builds serious mental discipline. And that gain spills over into everything else, not just fitness. It broadens the whole idea of productive struggle.
Okay, let's shift. How does this play out in, say, our careers professionally?
Well, professionally, the pain often looks like stepping way outside your comfort zone.
Like taking a promotion you're not sure you're ready for.
Exactly. Or maybe learning a really complex new skill, starting your own business. These things are rarely smooth sailing. Lots of uncertainty, lots of challenge.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, think about the fear before a big presentation.
Oh, yeah.
Or the frustration of trying to learn some system everyone else gets. Or dealing with, really difficult feedback. Those moments feel awful sometimes.
They do. But looking back, often those are the moments you learn the most, right? Grew the most confidence.
True. Progress often comes after a setback, doesn't it?
It often does. That sting of rejection or criticism, if you can frame it right, it's fuel. It's data for next time, not just a failure.
It's resilience building.
Definitely.
But then there's the other side in careers too, isn't there? The sacrifice, the long hours, the constant pressure, missing out on life outside work. That feels like a cost.
It absolutely is a cost, and that's where we need that balance again. Dedication is one thing, but if you're constantly grinding yourself down...
Burning out.
Exactly. You have to ask, is the promotion or the success worth wrecking your health or your relationships? Is that really a gain in the long run?
It's about sustainability.
Crucial for long-term anything, yeah.
Okay, it's fascinating how this threads through relationships too. Because they take work,
Mhm.
right? They aren't always easy. There's effort and, yeah, sometimes emotional discomfort.
Absolutely. Any relationship that matters, family, friends, partners, needs ongoing effort.
Hmm.
And that effort often means having the tough conversations, finding compromises, working through disagreements. It's not always comfortable,
No.
but it's kind of necessary for building something strong.
And I think a huge one in relationships is vulnerability.
Oh, definitely.
Just putting your real feelings out there,
Mm.
admitting you messed up. That can feel incredibly risky,
Yeah,
like emotionally painful.
it really can. But here's the thing. Leaning into that vulnerability, even though it feels scary, that's often what builds genuine trust and intimacy.
Deeper connections.
Exactly. And same with conflict. Avoiding it doesn't help. Actually working through it, trying to understand the other person, that
Yeah.
strengthens the bond, usually.
Just like with fitness and careers, there's a line here too, a really important one.
Yes, there absolutely is.
There's the healthy struggle of working through stuff together, and then there are situations that are just consistently damaging, toxic.
That distinction is vital. For your own sanity, your well-being, in truly unhealthy dynamics, the pain isn't leading to growth.
No, it's just pain.
It's just pain. It chips away at you. And recognizing that, recognizing when the gain is actually getting out, that takes courage. It's a massive act of self-preservation.
It really loops back to the danger of taking no pain, no gain,
Yeah.
literally, doesn't it?
Yeah, like suffering is noble or something.
Right. Glorifying the struggle itself,
Mm-hmm.
rather than seeing it as maybe sometimes a byproduct of chasing something worthwhile.
Exactly. Pain shouldn't be the goal. It should, ideally, have a purpose that makes sense to you. Is this discomfort moving me towards something I value?
Because the burnout risk is real everywhere. Fitness, work, even relationships. If you just keep pushing past your limits, ignoring fatigue, ignoring stress,
You hit a wall.
you hit a wall. And any gains you thought you were making get totally wiped out by the cost to your health, your happiness.
And you have to ask yourself then, what did I actually gain? If I'm miserable and exhausted, was it worth it?
It forces you to define what success or gain even means to you.
Right. It's not just about achieving the thing, but how you achieve it. Effort, yes. But rest, reflection, knowing your limits, just as important.
Okay, so let's make this practical. If we accept that some discomfort is needed for growth, how do we apply this whole idea healthfully? What are some, concrete tips?
Well, first off, having clear, realistic goals helps a lot.
Gives the discomfort a point.
Exactly. When you know why you're pushing through something tough, it feels more manageable. It provides direction, makes the pain feel purposeful, not random.
That makes sense. And maybe celebrating the small wins along the way.
Oh, definitely. Don't wait until the huge final goal.
Right, like acknowledge the progress. It keeps you motivated, reminds you you're moving forward, even if it feels slow, makes the journey less daunting.
For sure, positive reinforcement works.
Mm,
And another big one, really learn to listen to yourself, your body, your mind.
tune in.
Yeah. If something feels genuinely wrong, like harmful physical pain or just overwhelming dread, it's okay to stop, reassess. Taking a step back isn't failure, it's strategy.
Trusting your gut, basically.
Kind of, yeah. And related to that, don't underestimate the power of support.
Having people around you.
Yeah, friends, family, mentors. People who get what you're trying to do, who can cheer you on, or just remind you you're not crazy for finding it hard, that helps massively.
Makes you feel less alone in the struggle.
Exactly. That shared experience is powerful. And finally, I'd say, try to embrace the process itself.
Not just focus on the finish line.
Right. Real growth is usually slow, incremental, it's messy, there will be setbacks. So cultivate patience. Understand it's a long game.
And maybe finding meaning in the challenge itself.
Yes. Connecting the effort back to your deeper values. If you understand why this struggle matters to you personally, it makes enduring the discomfort much, much easier.
It's not about suffering for suffering's sake.
Not at all. It's about intentionally navigating challenges that align with what you truly care about, leading to growth that feels, well, meaningful.
So to wrap this up, no pain, no gain. It's a powerful idea. It needs wisdom, right? Needs careful application.
Definitely needs nuance.
So for everyone listening, think about a challenge you're facing right now, maybe a goal you're working on.
Mm-hmm.
How can you apply these ideas?
Mm-hmm.
How can you find that sweet spot, pushing yourself enough to grow, but not so much that you harm your well-being? Where's the line between productive discomfort and just damaging pain in your situation?
That's the reflection to take away, I think.
Something to chew on.
Definitely. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive today. Hope it gave you some food for thought.